It is a massive week in high school football. The biggest game of the season, you could argue, when number 1 Mater Dei travels the 25 miles to number 3 St. John Bosco. Now, I want to put this in perspective for you. Tickets for the game, they went on sale this morning. They sold out in 4 minutes. And I can guarantee you, I don't care how much you offer people for those tickets, they're not willing to give them up. Taking a look at the latest rankings from our friends at MaxPreps, Mater Dei still has not trailed at any point this season. St. John Bosco so far winning by an average margin of almost 30 points per game. IMG Academy sitting between the two of them. They do not play this week, by the way. Taking a look at 6 through 15, no movement here from last week. Collins Hills recording their 3rd consecutive shutout. St. Xavier extending their winning streak to 14, which sounds great until you hear that Chandler has extended their winning streak now to 40 games. 16 through 25, this is all the same from last week as well. Corona Centennial hosting King on Thursday, and then you get Bishop Gorman hosting Canyon Springs on Friday, which, by the way, if you remember Friday, yes, we are already to October. That is October 1st. Let's welcome in the true heroes at MaxPreps. We have Director of Programming Steve Montoya, National Football Editor Zack Poff. Zack, I'm going to start with you. I appreciate you gave me about a month's heads up. I have it circled on my calendar. Biggest game of the season, Mater Dei, St. John Bosco. I mentioned tickets sold out in 4 minutes. Give us a preview of what we can possibly expect in this game.
All right, hold on. You know what I got to grab, Amanda?
Oh, no. What is that?
You got to get this ready. You got to get the popcorn ready for this game. It's the biggest game of the year. And you brought it up. These tickets sold out faster than a Conor McGregor UFC card. Tickets went in 4 minutes, 6,000 tickets. And they are smart to get those tickets that fast because this is going to be a big-time game. This has become the best high school football rivalry, in my opinion, over the last 5 years. When these two teams play, usually the winner of the first one usually will kind of control their own destiny when it comes to winning a national championship from us and finishing the year at number 1. You just look at what number 1 Mater Dei has done so far this year. They haven't trailed at any point, and they've been blowing folks out. They started the year with an impressive dub in Texas, 45-3 over Duncanville, and then they went down and beat Liberty from Nevada, and then they finally got a crack at their first California opponent last week and beat La Mirada 58-7. So, you know, the Monarchs are showing why they're the number 1 team in the country. They're extremely talented. They're very deep. They're great on both sides of the ball, but, you know, they're going to face a big-time opponent, and the toughest team they're going to face all year, number 3 St. John Bosco. The Braves have been rolling so far this season, too, and just like, you know, Mater Dei, they haven't trailed at any point yet this year, and we labeled them as the number 1 toughest schedule going into this season, and they had no problem with their non-league opponents so far. They're 5-0. They're winning by nearly 30 points per game. So this is going to be a big test this week. And I'm not going to give my pick yet, Amanda. I'm going to wait until Friday to do that. And honestly, I'm still not sure who I'm going to pick because it's going to be a big time game. And, you know, Mater Dei is going to love that, you know, travel up the I-5 and, you know, the 20 plus miles. They're going to love the atmosphere that the Braves fans are going to give them.
Yeah, Mater Dei winning 6 of the last 10 meetings. Zack, by the way, by Friday, I want popcorn in that bag. Is there anything in there right now? There's nothing in there, right?
No, it's still empty from Friday. I ate all the popcorn I had in the house, so I got to go to the store and pick up some more popcorn. I probably got to get a bigger bucket too. So. All
right, when we see you Friday, we're going to get that. We're going to go through a couple more games here. We're going to head to my neck of the woods down to Texas. We get number 11, KATY, has its biggest game of the season against Tompkins. Steve, this has to be a revenge game. Tompkins snapped KATY's 75-game district winning streak last season. Like I said, KATY has to be looking for revenge here.
Yeah, for sure. And before I get to that, people in Texas are like, that's cute. 6,000 people at a game in California. That's like a, you know, one side of our bleachers in Texas. And you can imagine it's going to be a packed house because these schools are 5 miles from each other. And like you said, a revenge game. KATY got beat last year. Tompkins is a very solid team, both undefeated. And it's kind of 2 different programs here. You have KATY, rich in history, 9 state titles, including last year, always in the playoffs, and Tompkins more of a newer program, yet to win a state title, but they got their biggest win, maybe in program history last year, beating KATY. So this is going to be a good one. It's going to be packed. Like I said, classic rivalry. These schools are 5 miles apart, so a good one in Texas.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun there. I'm trying to figure out how many people KATY Legacy High School Stadium holds. I'm not sure, but it is a ton. You're right there. We get number 14 Corner Canyon, 1 win away from tying the state record for consecutive wins. Zack, how do they stack up with maybe some past years there at that particular school? And also, can they get the win this weekend?
Yeah, let's move that out of the way. They're going to tie the record this week for sure. They're going to beat Westlake on Friday, but it's hard to tell because Eric Carr, this is a guy, he's 57-1 since taking over as head coach before the 2017 season. So all this dude does is win, and he's a quarterback guru when it comes to coaching the quarterback position. Zach Wilson with the Jets, he started with him. And then you had Cole Hagan, who's now at Yale, then Jackson Dart, the MaxPreps National Player of the Year, now at USC. He was there last season, and now you're seeing what he's doing with Devin Brown, a 2022 USC commit. You look at Brown's numbers through their first 7 games this year. The dude's almost thrown for 3K and nearly 30 tutties already so far this year, so he's putting on a show. But, Amanda, when it comes to comparing this team, I would say last year's team is the best Corner Canyon team that Coach Carr has had, but this year's team is kind of trending in that direction. And they're still going to have a chance to, take over what that team did last year. Because, that team last year, they had a couple of close games. And the team this year, through their first 7 games, they've won by at least 15 points every single contest. So, they got a chance. But right now, just because of Jackson Dart, he was our National Player of the Year. And you saw the difference when he's at quarterback for USC compared to this week when they lost to Oregon State. So Jackson Dart, one of the most special players I've seen during my MaxPreps time here for 7+ years. But Devin Brown's playing well, and I would say this Corner Canyon team has a chance. But, more importantly, they're 2 wins away from breaking the Utah State record. But if they do tie it this week, next week they get Lone Peak, who's a very tough squad. They played Bishop Gorman tough for a half. So it'll be interesting to see, and that's going to be a big game to get that record on if they can get past this weekend and then next week against Lone Peak.
Also this weekend, we get number 19 St. Francis Academy gearing up for a big showdown this week. It's also going to be a big test for them, Steve. De La Salle, what do we need to know about this game?
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It lost a little bit of its punch because both teams have lost a game, including De La Salle finally lost to a Northern California team for the first time in forever. But it's still, you still got a classic, really good matchup here. St. Francis Academy, kind of this newer powerhouse program, is going out to California to play De La Salle. Before Mater Dei, before St. John Bosco, teams like that in California, it was De La Salle. Now this is a big test for De La Salle because De La Salle is 6-9 since our time doing this at MaxPreps, dating all the way back to 2005 against out-of-state opponents. So they want to see here, can they beat somebody from out of state? St. Francis Academy, their loss was to a very good St. Thomas Aquinas team, so it's not like they lost to somebody who's not on the national radar. They lost to a very good team. So this one's on national TV. You're going to get to see 2 very, very good programs playing here in Northern California at De La Salle.
And I've been doing the Googling. Legacy Stadium for KATY, Texas holds 12,000, so double the size of that Mater Dei game. We're going to see St. John Bosco, but both are going to be absolutely incredible there. Steve, Montoya, Zack, Poff, thank you guys so much. Can't wait to talk to you later this week to get your picks for those games. The biggest showdown, the biggest game of the year. You can read more about it there on MaxPreps. Number 1 Mater Dei going up against St. John Bosco. Tickets selling out in 4 minutes. Check it out at MaxPreps.